There you go. Lifestyle. Let's talk about it. Chris, Maurice, welcome to Let's Talk About It. How you guys doing today, man?
We're doing good, man. Hanging in there. It's a pleasure to be here.
That's what's up. That's what.
Thank you for having us.
No, thank you for your time. As you know, as you keep growing the firm, there's a lot of things going on, and anytime you can carve out that time to come on, Let's Talk About It, I gotta appreciate it, man.
We've been talking about it for a little while, right?
Yeah, we have
been a little bit of a run. We're there. We're a couple months, almost a year.
Yeah, it's good. So, Maurice, how are things with you, man? How's the world treating you, man?
Hey, man, I can't complain.
Okay.
All is well.
Okay.
Just, 1 foot in front of the other, 1% better every day. Just hustling. That's it.
I like that. The 1% every day. Every day. That's a good one. I'm pretty sure your peers are hearing this and they follow suit, right?
Yeah. Hey, listen, my team knows if you guys are listening, 1% better every day.
Yeah, you go.
Working now.
So, guys, tell me. I'm gonna start with you, Chris. What is it like managing partner at Lifestyle? What's going on? What is your vision?
The vision is huge.
Right.
Honestly, the vision is large. Being the managing partner here in New Jersey, president in New Jersey, and being able to have great partners by our side to continue the growth is exactly what George and I really put the vision together for, right? So George being our CEO and founder of Lifestyle International Realty,
right,
10 years ago today, right? This is our 10-year anniversary year.
Congratulations.
But thank you. But the visions are large for success, and not just for us as partners or owners in the business. It's really focused around the agent's success, because without the agent's success, there's really no lifestyle success.
Right.
So the values of what we pour into the agents, the support system on the back end, our employees on the back end, the admin support, the managers in the office. I mean, it's very important on that side.
It's all in.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, Maurice, tell me, I see what's going on, particularly the Broadway office. That office is growing. So tell me, how did you get that mindset, we about to grow? How did you make that happen as a managing partner?
Look, I think one of the biggest things is really just, leading by example. So,
right,
walking the walk, talking the talk. I think that people gravitate to something that they see that's going well, people that they can see themselves growing with.
Right. Results matter, right?
Absolutely. So
okay.
I think that, that's one of the biggest things in terms of getting people who are interested in being a part of the family and a part of what we're doing.
Right.
And I think it was what we really focused on when we first opened up the Broadway location and that we're still doing, which is just more or less exuding as much as we possibly can as being agent, entrepreneurs, so running the business, but still being very active in the business,
right?
Showing people that we're still in the trenches, we're still producing at a very high level, because I feel like for an agent, it's kind of more or less what they want to gravitate to, right? They want to learn from some of the best people who are doing things that they want to do.
Right.
So I'd say that it's definitely been one of the biggest things that I focused on and that we focused on, as a management team, is really just everything that we look for in agents, making sure that we're being that, and then just consistently building organic relationships is something that me and Chris have done very well since the beginning. And it's just, making genuine relationships with people in the business that respect us, and, through time, they usually gravitate and they come over.
Respect. I think you guys definitely earned that because of what you got going on, especially for the communities that you serve, right? Secaucus, Broadway, you got Fort Lee office. I mean, you guys are just growing. On that note, what prompted you to become business partners with Lifestyle?
Man, this story, it's funny. We tell the story a lot, and it's actually a really good one. I'd met Chris prior a couple of times at networking events, us kind of individually just doing what we normally do, kind of what I talked to you about, right?
Right.
Actually walking the walk versus talking the talk. And, I was kind of at like a midpoint in my career at that time. I was really at a crossroad just before I met Chris. So, I believe in timing being everything. And, we met at a couple of networking events, and,
right,
Chris introduced himself, and we kind of like talked. But we kind of, again, we did our natural dance.
Right.
We're not, the kind of people to, come out at people a bit too aggressive, or just, something that's not organically coming together.
Right.
And we kind of just, touched on each other here and there. And then, Chris had reached out to me like via social media, and we had just some good combo and just connecting on things and in the business. And we ended up, having a meeting just kind of around.
It's always a meeting, right?
Yeah, definitely. Well, like for me, I think, those meetings are extremely important, especially the ones that you don't necessarily kind of have expectations behind.
Right.
The ones that are, it kind of just happen, I've never been one to turn down a meeting.
Right.
I feel like the meetings that I've always taken that I didn't expect much from, they gave me the most.
Right.
So I didn't know what to expect, but I sat with Chris, who was a cool guy, and for me, I'm big on people. Right. And people's character and kind of the way they move me.
That's very important.
And, he moved me as a pretty cool guy. And in that meeting, he really showed me that, that we could be aligned. Chris has a character that I could respect. And, with giving me all of the beautiful things that we have here at Lifestyle and how it could help me in kind of my crossroad where he didn't really realize I was at that time. It spoke to me, and then I kind of, left that meeting, and I gave him the poker face. I didn't let him know that I was.
I did the same thing with my manager, my branch manager. Right, I was like, man, I don't know what you're talking about.
He left. I mean, I said, yeah, this guy's sold. It was a great meeting. I still remember.
Okay, cool. So, how did you know Maurice was the one, man?
Honestly, we didn't. It was just more of like you said, it's a natural connection. I seen him around. So it's back to what he was saying, right? Just being out in the field doing it. So, my life or my career, honestly, before Lifestyle has always been investor centric. It's always been investments. It's been, real estate, been licensed agent, but it was always around, just building relationships, right? Organic relationships. And I was always at different events, networking events, just to better myself, gain more connections, get more opportunity for deals, and build more relationships with agents to get more deals and be able to supply what that investment operation looked like. And it was a common face, honestly.
That sounds good.
So it's a common face that you saw at different places. And to me, those common faces were relationships that I made sure that I needed to have.
Right.
And some went further, some went, were more just transactional. Some became personal and transactional, right? But it was more of like, when I knew we were building out Lifestyle, I said, look, this guy's out there. He's respecting his business. He's investing time in his business to make himself better. And I was like, we need to set a meeting, right? And then when we set the meeting, we had great conversations. And, he was focused on building a team. And the idea was really providing him with the value of how he can build a team, or how anybody can build a team within Lifestyle, right, with the support that we have.
Right.
We say that we are a big team as a company, right? So even if you're not on a team and you come work with Lifestyle, you're getting that team atmosphere and feel because of the support behind you and just the culture that we have. Honestly, the family feel culture that you would normally get from a team, you get on a company level when you join Lifestyle.
So your phone call, text away?
Always. I'm always available. My phone, agents call me, text me. I'm constantly available. Sometimes I make myself too available, but I'll never stop because I always want to be accessible, right? For our agents, of course, right? Because that's a value piece. You can't say that every agent has access to their company owner at all times. It just doesn't exist all the time, but we're there. So just letting him know how he can build his team with us was where, hearing his commitment to doing that was really what showed me, okay, this guy's more business mindset, metric, to hit those metrics to build a team, where it's like, okay, well, let me share with him what the real opportunities are behind Lifestyle, which is like leadership opportunity, partnership opportunity, having equity within the company and being a real partner of that branch and having tangible revenue that comes in as a real partner with us, right? And that I felt was where some eye-opener pieces were for him. And, fast forward to where we are today,
you guys are
those
growing.
Expectations are there and they have been met, I hope.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. No. So Chris, you're doing this, you pick up the phone, you have all this, you and I, prior to hopping on camera, I was like, yo, time management. How do you manage time, man? You got the beautiful family, you got the responsibility of pretty much many states because of different things that you're growing in these states, right? With the companies and all that stuff. How do you manage it, man? There's only certain time in the day. Like, how are you doing this, bro?
Honestly, I'll say time management is something I definitely can work on better. I'll always admit that. But it's the team. It's the support behind what we have, right? People look at a company and they look at the ownership or the leadership. Yeah, of course, that fuels the company, but it's really the team that you have, because it's the support that you have behind you that allows you to really manage everything, because we're not doing all the work, right? We have our admins, our managers in the offices that really help us allow to push on the growth of the company, and that are there to really support the agents at the end of the day. So as much as we're available to the agent,
right,
they have a lot of support, and that's the answer, right? Like, I have our assistant, one of my assistants, and our head admin, Marge Fasciano, is amazing. There's nobody can do the
Marge,
job
they're
better
calling
than her.
you out. Let's
Nobody
go.
can do the job
Marge, they're
better.
calling
And
you
Marge,
out.
without her,
right,
it would have been tough. But she's there, she helps it, and she carries a lot of weight. So, those are the things that people do not see behind the scenes. They think that, the ownership is the end all be all. No, it's the support behind the ownership that really matters.
Man, look, Maurice, I see you on social media with the lavish luxury homes, and then I see you at the mid-price. How are you, like, how do you do it, man? Like, I mean, because you talk to investors, you talk to new builds,
sure,
you talk to clients who are looking to get first time. Like, walk me through that process, man.
I mean, I think it just has to be bigger. It's bigger than a nice home, a price point. It's really about, like, helping people, really being passionate about what you do and really enjoying that.
Right.
For some people, it may be like cliche, like, I love it. I love to help people. People think that, it's like, well, everyone says that.
Man, going on air with it. I love it. I love it.
Everyone
Right.
says that too, they're really just looking for the check. But I think it's with anything that you do, whether it's real estate or any other industry, you have to find what truly speaks to you. And then what'll happen is you'll be so indulged in the process that the outcomes and the rest of it doesn't really mean as much as it would doing something else.
Right.
I've gotten to the point where I'm so attached to the process of helping people and perfecting that process so that it's seamless that I almost don't enjoy the closings like I used to anymore.
So you're numb to it.
I enjoy them more for my client. It's a blessed day for them.
Right.
But where I feel like I have been thinking about it, like it was almost like at one point like I was buying a house.
Right.
And not to say that I've gotten completely from that, but I understand that the real value is in the process. Right. And I think that's with anything in life, like it's the journey of it, right? Right. Enjoying that, being passionate about that journey of helping these people either, find a house or sell their house, and then what it means for them to get where they need to get. So I think for me, no matter the price point, it doesn't really matter. I've just been focused on being able to service everybody the exact same way and being an expert no matter the price point, so that, I can enjoy that journey, they can enjoy that journey, and ultimately they'll get what they need to get.
Wow. Which is the closing table.
It's the closing
That's
table.
right.
So I'll ask you first, how do you evaluate talent then, right? Because you're mentoring, you're putting things in front of potential professionals that can mirror what you're doing.
Sure.
How do you evaluate that, man?
I'd tell you, with having a team, that really developed in my mind on how I evaluate people for teams, fit for a brokerage,
right,
or anything for that matter. I think one of the biggest things I look for is initiative. We offer a ton of things, a lot of resources. My own individual team, I pride myself in giving them as much value as possible, as much access, support, any and all of it. But I learned that you need them to show you initiative before you could really see if they're a right fit, in my opinion.
Right.
If they're going to do anything with what you're giving them. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink. So I can give you all the tools. I can give you all the help, all the resources, all the support, but you got to meet me halfway. And I think that if you give them the space to show you that they want it as bad as you want it for them, and they show up, then it makes them a good candidate.
That's what's up. I like your analogy with the water thing. So going back to you, yeah, that's a good one. So Chris, look, principal, managing partner, you're growing offices recently. I see you, Colorado, you have an office going there. You have special projects going on in Denver. How do you now bring on senior professionals to make sure what's asked of them make sense for our clients. How are you evaluating that, man?
No, so, shout out to Denver, of course, right? It's definitely happening. There's the launch is coming soon.
Okay.
And
Did I let the cat out of the box? Or
no, it's out there. It's out there.
Just making sure, right?
But no, and that itself is just being involved with the growth of lifestyle as a whole. George Contabello has given the opportunity to myself to be involved in the growth of the entire company.
Right.
Him and I, we have a great relationship on that, and we're able to bounce a lot of ideas off of each other with it. So, with the Colorado support, it's really just finding the right team, right, in those areas and build around them correctly. Right. So to answer the question is really like having the right leadership partner, right? Because you got to have the partner first. You got to find a partner before we open up the market. Right. So finding the partner, which then is able to identify the opportunities that are there. They're going to be able to identify their managing the manager for their office or an admin team to put it together and to really make that work. So it's really not just, again, it's not us all the time. It's really just putting the pieces together and putting it as a whole.
Good. So today is 4/11. We've watched different administration come in. We're not going to get into politics. We're going to talk about what's actually happening in terms of what home ownership looks like. Home affordability has been a challenge for some of us, right? And
sure.
How are you putting things in front of your partners to say, don't focus on the noise, focus on what you can provide for your client? Because ultimately, markets have ups and downs.
Yeah,
so how do you, dude, stop, look, don't, the noise, leave it alone.
Sure.
Like, what can you do, and how do you have these conversations? Because we do see fractions of unemployment going to change, right? Because we see artificial intelligence happening, we see AI, and there's a lot going on, right? So today it looks good, but we haven't seen the repercussions of consumer goods going up yet, and we haven't seen certain jobs going to be eliminated. How are you guys having that conversation with your partners? I'll start with you, Maurice.
I mean, I think everything in business, and definitely in this business, is mindset, right? So the very first thing you have to do is impact their perspective on whatever is happening in the market, right? The first place that my mind always goes is there's ebbs and flows to the business. It will go up, it will go down, it will go left, it will go right. Right. I'm going to stick to the same principles no matter what the market looks like, no matter what's happening. I've heard people say, no matter the market, there's still people doing deals. It's really, are you going to be the one who's doing them, right? In my past life, I used to manage teams, and I used to, I would have, people kind of go like, hey, this is why I can't do it. I'd have excuses being given, and I would just say, well, look to your left, look to your right. You have peers on your left and your right. They're doing it. So they figured out a way to
stop
do it
with the excuses. Maurice is telling you, stop with the excuses, man.
We don't want to hear it.
No,
we don't want to hear it.
I love it. I love it.
Again, to your point, there's an education piece, right? So it's not just, with everybody giving excuses. Sometimes they need to understand how to drill that down to their clientele, what that mindset and perspective should look like, and then how to articulate it, right? Some agents are not even going to really realize what is going on in the market, how it is affecting their business or the people around them, and then just kind of more or less understanding, okay, here's where it is, and then here's how it relates to real estate. And these are ways that you can help your clients to realize that, it's still a good time to buy, it's still a good time to sell, based on data, based on, real estate over time, always winning. Right. Those kind of things versus, like we're a little afraid, the market, whoever, is in office or any other noise that may affect, motions that we make. And I think it's just understanding like finances and some other things. And we just don't assume that our people know. I think training should be consistent, and it's something that we focus on daily, monthly and yearly in the company. So I think it's more or less that perspective and training. And then I think you give them the tools to be able to deal with whatever market.
Yeah, I see that. You check your social media, they always training, they always talking. Even when I try to ping him, yo, Jim, I'm in a class right now. I'm helping out. So, yo, yeah, he speaks truth to
It's
power.
value.
because he has
Value to the agents is extremely important for us. You know, at the end of
Right.
the day, value to all our agent partners, all our partners, all the broker managers with us. It's value, 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 right? So that's the number one piece.
So, Chris, you're doing a lot. You're building. What has anything happened to you where something was unexpected and you had to veer and make a business decision to help keep the name Lifestyle, keep it running? It's all the time, but just give me one. Just give me
That's
one.
often, right?
Yeah.
That's always a thing, right?
It's always a thing, right?
It's our growth has always been going, right? So the company in 10 years it's always increased, right? Today we are 35 offices.
Okay, that's
we
what's up.
are
Yeah,
about
okay.
a little over 3,200 agents in total, right? 6 states. We are international as well, right? We're in Dominican Republic as well, servicing a little bit of Colombia as well as servicing Puerto Rico.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, look, there's always going to be pivotal moments, right? It's
Right.
really just adjusting and adjusting to what that might be. There's nothing ever that's going to be too catastrophic that's going to veer the plan, right? The plan is the plan. You got to have the mindset, and the vision is always just continue moving forward, right? There's nothing that's going to veer it, and nothing's going to take us off that rail, whether how large or how small the problem may be.
Right.
Just move forward, keep going, right? For us, it's again adding the value to the agents, being able to constantly recruit agents to the company, bringing on raw talent, so that way any type of pivotal moment for the company, it really doesn't hurt it.
And that's important, right? You said that because, today, the big thing is we know what's out there, right? The virtual mindset of you can do this from here to here. I'm boutique driven.
Brick and mortar.
Brick and mortar.
Man. Brick and mortar always, will
right.
never lose its value.
Yeah, I think I feel like if you go into that office that one day, you have that conversation, that can change perspective for the client and for you. Because in this business, we're always learning something new. So I'm a brick and mortar guy. I understand that avatar world of, you can do this, you can do that. But again, I'm very simple. I'm a little old school. I like to say, hey, Chris, man, can I meet you for coffee? Let's do this, downtown Broadway. Let's make it happen. Same thing with you, Maurice. Like, I'm very into. Now, what are some of the objections when someone is saying, well, I'm not going to pay this fee because I can do it with such and such? Like, how do you guys, combat that? Because I'm pretty sure that things are changing and,
of course.
That's out there. How are you guys dealing with that objection?
Everything's adaptable, right? So again, you gotta adapt to what the changes are, right?
Right.
And in today's day and age of real estate and on the brokerage level, there's a lot of 100% companies, and there's a lot of companies that are saying that they have a ton of support, a ton of value, and you don't have to be in the office, so they don't charge as much because they don't have a brick and mortar for
Right.
it. But the hands-on brick and mortar will never die because that's where everybody really knows that the magic happens, right? So the actual agents that are performing at high levels understand that there is the value of being into the office. There's deals that happen on the back end. There's inventory that floats around the office every day, right? And that deal can happen in that office. If you're not there today, you might have not seen that deal that came through off market that might have been a deal for your client, right? So there's just so many ways for it, but it's again, it comes back always, and I say it over and over again, it's gonna always be value and support driven. If you provide the value and support for the agents that they're looking for and they need, they're not gonna look for it elsewhere.
I make the case too, right? Especially, we call it what it is, especially in the minority and urban communities, trust is a big factor.
Sure.
I always feel like if that name is out there on Main Street, I'm gonna walk right in. That's a potential client for you. So
Sure.
I to what you were saying, the value, the brick and mortar, it's imperative in my mind. And it's a mindset thing you spoke about earlier, right? The fact is that you can cultivate relationships with families, and also too, the good thing is I've seen you do events at the Broadway office, man. You guys don't shy from that part.
No, definitely not. I mean, to kind of add to that and kind of more or less what you're saying, look, real estate is a relationship-based business. So to remove the relationship part, doesn't make much sense to me. You
Right.
know, I think when you take the brick and mortar away, you're not pushing forward and contributing to creating a space where people can continue to create those relationships, whether it be interrelationships within the brokerage, which is why we do a ton of like training and events. That's to continue to bring our agents together, the body together, right?
The culture, the family.
Correct.
Camaraderie is important.
Camaraderie
It's
is
Culture is
huge.
big.
Right.
And then how do you do that, with not, creating opportunities for people to be, in front of each other. I've seen all too often, offices where, whatever, maybe you have a few hundred agents in an office, but a ton of them don't know each other.
Right.
Have we created an opportunity for them to be able to do that? That promotes us being able to do deals together, and then continue to grow the company and people feeling comfortable with being there. So
Right.
I think it's hard to kind of do it without having, a home base to come to.
Right, and I'm sure we can agree, right? Collaboration has always been a big key factor of,
Right.
of doing well, right? So like collaboration over competition is something that people always say, but it's true. If you don't give them the space to collaborate, where will it happen,
Right.
right? If the events aren't being put together, if the workshops aren't being put together, if the trainings aren't being put together, how are we promoting collaborating with each other to do business together that's going to help us move forward faster and be successful?
You've been in the business for a long time. You watch things go up and down.
Mm-hmm.
How much have you seen the Hispanic community
Oh,
in buying into home ownership?
It's honestly amazing what's been happening year over year. It's been growing, right? I feel
Right.
like Hispanic homeownership has been a movement for quite some time. I've been in the business 15 years now, but even before then, right? It goes back to even family members of mine that have come to this country and have owned properties year over year, and they're just building, right? And just the movement of that is increased. I mean, they're the number one home ownership increase
Right.
out of all,
Yep.
right?
Mhm.
So, I mean, it's insane. I love to see it, right?
Right.
It's,
Feels
I'm
good,
Latino,
right.
right? I'm from a Hispanic background, come from a Hispanic home.
It means that
So
much.
it means a lot.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
means a lot. I can see that. I can see that, man. I'm getting chills talking to you about it. I'm feeling that energy. All right, so man, let's just break it up a little bit. Let's have some fun, right? Because this is what it is. Let's talk about it. So, what are some of the things you like to do outside of real estate? Because you do have that life.
Man, real estate. I like to do real estate out of real estate.
That's a good one.
No, man. I mean, I love to spend time with my family. I think we focus a lot on our business, just because we have goals to do things, and it more or less ties back to our real whys, and it's really just to be able to provide and just transcend my family name into something that can continue on. So when I do get the time and focusing on, giving my family that time, I really love to spend time with my family, and kind of disconnect a bit. And then also personal development. That's always been one big thing for me. How can I get better every day as a person, doing business or whatever that looks like. So some of those things. And I'm into sports too. I'll give you guys some of like the simple things. I love basketball, football, watching,
Right.
all the sports and stuff like that. So, but I'm I don't know, I'm a 24/7 kind of guy. I love to work. I love real estate. And I'd say mostly that's what I'm doing. But when I get that downtime, I guess I'll watch a game or two or something like that.
That's lies. He's also ordering sneakers. You're a sneakerhead, man, right? My man got like, if you go to his closet, I'm pretty sure it's a lot of colors, man.
I got a couple. It's not me. Chris is worse than me. Chris has all the sneakers.
Yeah, man.
So, Chris, man, outside of doing what you do best, leader, mentoring, what are you doing? What are some of the things you like to do outside of real estate?
No, same thing, man. I love spending time with my family. I love spending time with my kids, to the point where we're traveling. Sometimes I take the kids and the wife and the family with us, right?
Okay.
Like back to your question before, work-life balance, right?
Right.
If I have to have that balance, let me try to put it together if we can at some time and make it work. But no, spending time with the family is super important. But also back to sports, I still play baseball on the weekends.
Oh, okay.
Right? So I still
Who's your
play
team?
baseball on the weekend. I like the Yankees. Right?
Ooh,
I'm a
Mets,
Yankee
man. Let's
guy.
go Mets, yeah.
I'm a Yankees guy at
Okay.
heart forever. But no, baseball has been one of my biggest passions for my
Okay.
entire life.
Right.
So for me, it's, on Sundays I go out there. Now it's tough too because I get my son into the sports. I get him watching baseball. I get him. I feel like if I was able to continue, I've been out for a year and a half. I hurt myself, but then I got back in because I felt I'd get my son into loving the sport more.
Right.
Watching me play, wanting him to play. He's been playing Little League since T-ball, and he enjoys it. During the winter, we're practicing, 3 days a week. We're indoors, hitting in the batting cages, doing different things. And for me, it's important for him to see that, right? It's a life I grew up. I played baseball every day of my life growing up. High school, grammar school, high school. It's just my parents had me on 4 different teams. We traveled. I played in France. I played in all different places when it came to baseball.
That's what's up. I'm a little older, so we had stickball, right? From hydrant to hydrant. I'm from the city, so that's how we played.
We played stickball too.
Okay.
Don't get it twisted. We definitely played there. We had the lady coming out yelling at us because the tennis ball would hit the house too many times.
Them days.
Man.
Yeah.
That's what's up, man.
That's where it started, man. No, but it's really about balancing it out, and I enjoy spending time with my friends and family a lot. All the free time we can.
That's cool. So, guys, I'm here because of 3 people, right? Irvin Cham, Aaron, and Russ. They're with you guys at Lifestyle International. Today is a big day for me, right? Because again, you guys are always moving from left to right, top to bottom. The fact that I'm here with you guys and able to do this, it's a blessing. So I just want to give the flowers right now.
I appreciate
and I
it.
want to thank you for the connect that we got here to make this happen, man.
Likewise.
Thank you
We
for your
appreciate
time
you.
too.
Yeah,
we
man.
appreciate it. We've been after this for some time, man.
Right.
I've been saying I want to do it. It's been
Yeah.
it's hard.
It's hard. It's hard.
You're busy, we're busy, but I said we're gonna lock it down one day.
Yeah.
That's for sure. And we're here.
And today's the day. So, Chris, before we leave, we gotta shout out, favorite restaurants. I know some may come after you, but this show is blowing up, and there's certain places people like to eat. If you want to share that, go ahead, have at
Oh
it.
man, if anybody who knows me knows I love to eat, and not just because my stomach is big. We're trying to work on that.
Right.
We're working on it. 25, I promise. But
Okay.
no, I mean, there's so many different places that I love to eat, man. I got to slow down a little bit on the red meat today, but River Palm is an all-time frame, and we do a lot of meetings there.
Okay.
I eat there often.
Get them steak tips.
Spicy steak tips, that's for sure.
Okay. Where are they located?
That's in so River Palm is in Edgewater.
Edgewater, okay.
In
Okay.
Edgewater, right there.
On River Road.
River is
River
that
Road?
River? Yeah, at the
Yeah,
top.
River Road.
Next
But,
to Blue?
Blue is down in Weehawken.
Weehawken,
That's another
okay.
good spot,
That's
of
another-
course,
okay.
right? Blue, I got to give the flowers. Blue is amazing. We spend a lot of time there too.
Okay.
People are always like, oh, yeah, you guys always there. You guys own that place? Nah.
It's called success, man. It's
You
called
know,
success. I
It's
love
just,
it. I love it. I
good
love
meetings,
it.
showing good time, having good time with our groups, our teams, everybody. We like to enjoy it together.
Maurice, what about you? What's your shout-out restaurant that you like to go to, man?
Man, Chris took all the good ones, man.
They're coming after you, man.
No, I mean, I have a bunch. Actually, recently I went to one in Woodbridge, Strickland's. It was actually really good.
Okay.
Definitely got to shout them out. Good steak, good sides. Love it. But I'm a simple guy. I always joke with Chris. He's like, "Oh, let's go to." I'm like, "Listen, man, give me a 10-piece nugget and fries, and we're good to go."
Not McDonald's. You gotta go at least to the chicken spot.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, I think Strickland's is definitely a good spot.
Okay.
I love Roof Chris. I don't know. Some people that don't like him or don't particularly care for him, but I like Roof Chris. I actually go there and I get chicken. I don't get steak.
Oh, okay.
The chicken there is great. So
They're coming after you, man.
I know they are.
So, Maurice, if someone's looking for you on social platforms, where can they find you, man?
Yeah, my Instagram is Real Estate by Mo. It's pretty much the same thing across all platforms. You can search me with my full name, Maurice Negron, Lifestyle. I should come up somewhere in there.
Okay.
Yep.
Cookie's about to happen.
That's it.
So, Chris, if someone's looking for you on social platforms, where can they find you, man?
Same on Instagram at @cdelgado_LIR.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Guys, if they don't call you back, it's not because they don't want to. It's because they're that busy.
We always call back. That's
right.
You'll
Exactly.
get a text.
Right.
It'll
It's
say
coming.
text for a quicker response.
Yeah,
That's right.
the follow-up game is real good, real good. So, let's talk about it. I'm on your favorite streaming platform, Apple, Spotify, wherever it is. Type in Jimmy Mortgage. Let's talk about it. I'm there. Again, thank you guys for coming on. Let's talk about it.
Thank
guys.
you for your
I
time.
appreciate it, man.
I appreciate it.
My
Absolutely.
man.
Thank you for having us.
Appreciate
It's
you.
a pleasure.
Hey, listeners, are you looking to improve your home comfort and save on your energy bills? Let's talk about Seal Power. They've been awarded Energy Star Sustained Excellence Award, seen on Good Morning America, the New York Times, and World News. Seal Power is dedicated to keeping your home cozy while saving money. Check out their website for tips and incentives and more at CIELPOWER.com. Stay comfortable and save with Seal Power, where comfort meets efficiency. Follow them on Instagram for updates and more, and let's talk about it as well. Thank you.